What gets you into cars as a kid? Like, is there like, do you remember like the first car ever that you, what car is that? And they're like, that's.
Not really. I mean, I'm a single family home. I was raised by my mom, and through the family, I'm not gonna say through the bloodline because they're not, but through the family line, all my cousins in Costa Rica are big car guys. I have uncles that are big car guys, and it's one of those things that it's just, it just came natural. It came from the heart. It wasn't like I was in mechanic shops and growing up, like I didn't have a father figure ever. You know what I mean? Like it was literally my mom raised me all the way through, and it was just something that I naturally gravitated to.
It's genetic. Nobody put you onto it. It just call your attention.
But even like my older brothers, like they're not even into cars like that. So like I don't know. I'm the only one for my mom.
Wow.
And I don't know where that came from. Like.
And can you educate me? So like, cause I'm honestly not a car guy. Like I didn't like really care what cars were until like I saw Triple X as a kid, and they steal a Corvette at the beginning of the movie, and I'm like, what car is that? And they're like, that's a Corvette. I just turned 30 in November.
Okay, so yeah. I have a huge theory on why that is, and it was like the recession of 2007. How old are you in 2007?
2007 puts me right now. I'm 30 and 14, so before 3 minus 13, so 30 minus 13. Yeah.
So think about it this way: back then, during the recession, everybody was broke. All of us that are out of high school were building cars in school, in high school, and like right after. Like we've already built our like first cars or whatever the case may be. But come that 2007, that era, when did you graduate high school?
2013.
So that whole era of like when you're supposed to like cars or like grow into cars weren't a thing because everybody was broke. And then Uber came out, and then social media came out, and now the world all dresses the same. And cars aren't important because you don't need cars to pick up girls because you have Uber. So it's like this whole theory that I figured out, and I could be completely wrong, but everyone from that era doesn't care about cars. They're more worried about sneakers, fashion, and social media versus our age range was what car did you have, going to go do laps at the Grove because that's how you met girls. That's how you socialized, was through cars.
It's a necessity.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And then once that recession hit and everybody went broke, like the next round of car guys didn't come through until now that like we have kids and now we're teaching our kids, and it's like, okay, the money's back in the building, and like, so that's the whole theory. That's probably why you're not into cars, and you're not the only one. There's literally an entire, I guess, generation.
It's an extinction of it because nowadays there's that just doesn't, like, I feel like the people that are into cars now, I'm out of the loop, I think, but I feel like it's like vintage cars. Like nobody's into like it hasn't necessarily like evolved. Like it's not like the new like JDMs or nothing like that. Like it's
all vintage JDMs, and it's all the guys from my era that now can afford like the crazy Japanese like the real deal Japanese like right hand drive shit that's like what's popping now. But like back then, like Hondas were a thing. Like Hondas aren't really a thing now. Like the import scene, that's like let's say the blue collar import scene, the Civics, the Accords, like that stuff is not really a thing now. Now it's all like the real crazy Japanese shit that everybody's after, all the Skylines and all that stuff.
Crazy,
and then all the kids, I call it the bling bling era. When Cash Money came out, my theory is it went from being the realest street dudes to being the richest dudes. So having hood cars wasn't a thing. It was what was the most expensive car you could have.
Right.
So that changed the game now because now all the kids in high school were driving Infinitis, BMWs, Benzes.
Yeah. Nice.
Back then we didn't have that. We couldn't afford that shit. You know what I mean? So it's just that whole thing changed. Like that game changed through music.
Yeah, before my eyes, because my era, like, there were still people, like, the people that were driving early built their cars. They were already, I'm working on my car, this and that, and yeah, it just broke down. I got a new one that it's a hoopty, but, I'm working on it.
Imagine, I'll tell you like this. You graduated 2013?
Yeah.
In 2013, I was on private jets with Cash Money, and he had a Bugatti, and that's what was cool. You feel me? Like, that's like, when you're graduating high school, that's what you have to look up to. That's not realistic.
Right.
When we graduated high school 2002, it was like 50 and all them had just came out, and Cash Money was like already established, but like the bling bling era had just hit, and it was up 300Cs, the Magnums, like all that stuff was like what was cool, and it was still attainable because it was still like 30 grand. Now these guys are all in Maybachs and Benzes and all types of shit where kids can't afford that shit.
It's the fantasy it's being sold to people now. It's not. It's less realistic. It's not less attainable, and that just does a damage to mental health.